Unsolicited applications are a great way to express your interest in working for the company of your dreams. So if you found a really interesting company that, you know, really motivates you and that you could really imagine working for, I think you could send them an unsolicited application, or in German, we would say Initiativbewerbung. Yeah, we have these beautiful terms for everything. So I'll tell you what you pay attention to and yeah, what you need to do when you want to write an unsolicited application and send it to German employers. And before I do so, make sure that you hit the subscribe button on my YouTube channel to never miss out on any piece of information about careers and work in Germany. And you can also leave me your comments and let me know what you will be interested in. And I'll try and cover that. I mean, I'm not an expert on everything, but you know, maybe I can find another expert and invite this person over to talk about the topic that you are interested in. So make sure that you hit the subscribe button and let me know what you would like to know. But let's get back to this topic of writing applications. I mean, that's a kind of time-intensive thing to do, right? And writing an unsolicited application may be even more time-intensive. But I think it's a good way to apply because it really shows your motivation. And if you've already done some research on jobs in Germany, you may have come across the fact that there are also a lot of companies who have a specific contact on their website or even an upload form where you can hand in unsolicited applications. And you know what? Even I found one of my first internships for a very, like a major corporate through an unsolicited application. I would have never thought that that's kind of possible, but somehow I stood out as a candidate and I got the job, which was never advertised anywhere before. So I started my career this way, and that's probably also one of the reasons why I like to recommend this to other people. But if you write an application that, you know, and there's no job that you apply to, it's kind of difficult to design the contents accordingly, right? So if you've watched any of my previous videos, I always give this recommendation where I say, you know, you have to adapt the contents to the job ad. So what do you do if there is no job ad? So here's my piece of advice on this. In this case, you have to figure out what you would be interested in. So don't just write a general application. Your application still needs to include a cover letter, a CV, and attachments, although I'm not such a big fan of sending out all the data to, you know, I mean, you don't know who will be looking at that. So I would just send in the most important parts of the attachments, just the most important proofs. But you need a cover letter and a CV. And I would just, you know, if I were you, I would sit down and try and figure out what you would be interested in. What are the kind of roles that you're targeting? And then design your CV and cover letter accordingly. And maybe you can check other job ads the company has to get a kind of feeling for the keywords and communication they use, and then use some of them. Maybe they have other job openings in similar departments or similar roles as the one you are interested in. So you could try and use this as a kind of inspiration. And then write a cover letter and make sure that there's a subject line in your email and your cover letter that clearly indicates that this is an unsolicited application if you send it to an email address that's maybe advertised by the company, because otherwise they will not know where to place this. And that's also why it would be good if you define a kind of key role, or at least a kind of department you're targeting, a field of a kind of professional field, because otherwise a recruiter won't know where to send your application. If this person thinks it's interesting, it's not possible to forward it without knowing what you're interested in. So make sure that you figure out what you want to target, then design your application accordingly, have a very clear subject line in your email and your cover letter, and then hand it in. And don't worry too much about the attachments, because they will ask for it if they are interested. So that's something I personally don't worry about too much. Sometimes they tell you on the website what they want. If they have a piece of information on unsolicited applications, they will probably even tell you what they need. So you can stick with that. And that's my last piece of advice. Don't mention a salary expectation in unsolicited applications. because you don't know what exact job you'll be discussing, right? So it's not possible to figure out exact level of salary. You don't know where they will place you if they're interested. So you can leave that out. That'll also spare you a bit of research, right? I think a lot of you will be glad to hear this. And just focus on designing an application that really comes across as like, you know, an interesting application that makes you interesting as a candidate, that shows your motivation to work for this company. Make sure that you stand out somehow. And yeah, I hope you'll be successful with that. If you've already written unsolicited applications here, leave me your comments and let me know about your experiences. I would love to hear about them. And of course, I would also love to hear what other topics you would be interested in. And I would love to see you as a subscriber on my YouTube channel. So see you soon.